Hello, this is Russell Hawley, the education specialist at the Tate Geological Museum, and I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about our own Tyrannosaurus Rex specimen named Lee Rex. This is the femur, the thigh bone of Lee Rex, and it's not in its life position. This end here is the knee, and this is the backbone and the ribs and the pelvis here. So this knee should actually be down there, but it's been swung all the way up and back, so it's quite a bit higher than the level of his back. This is not a position that he could get the leg into in life, not more than once anyway. And it's also notable because it has a pathology on it. Pathologies are signs of disease or injury that you can find on fossil bone, and this one is a doozy. Here on the back of the femur is a hole that's not supposed to be there. A healthy Tyrannosaurus Rex does not have any sort of fossa or foramen in that spot right there. It's about the same diameter as the tip of the horn of a ceratopsian, a horned dinosaur like Triceratops or Torosaurus. There's no evidence that the bone around the hole had re-healed, so this was inflicted very shortly before the time of death. Now, of course, when he was alive, there was a lot of soft tissue behind this bone, probably including some fairly large arteries and veins, and that horn, as it came in to stab that leg bone, may have intersected some fairly important plumbing along the way, causing the animal to bleed out. So we could actually be looking at cause of death here. The ultimate cold case solved after 66 million years. As to why it's on the back of the femur, I have an idea about that, and I have no idea whether it's accurate or not. I picture Lee sneaking up on a Triceratops from behind and then steps on a twig or something. The Triceratops hears the noise, turns around and charges. Lee says, "Oh, forget this, I'm out of here," tries to run away, but the charging Triceratops catches up to him and nails him in the leg from behind, and that's why the hole is there. I don't know if that's how it happened, but it makes a good story. Another pathology is to be found over here at the base of the tail. Here are two chevrons coming down from underneath the tailbones, and then these are the bodies, the centra of the three tailbones, and they are all fused together into a single mass of bone. Now, this will often happen if bone becomes cracked or damaged. It produces bone tissue to repair itself, and then it's like it doesn't know when to stop, and extra blobs of bone go growing out in different directions, and if two damaged bones are next to each other, they'll fuse into each other, and you get fused bones like this. What's very interesting is that other Tyrannosaurus Rex specimens have been found with fused tailbones in very close to this exact same spot here. So this is something that happened more than once in the Tyrannosaurus population. One suggestion is that it might be the result of a mating accident. 5 tons of male Tyrannosaurus Rex could put a lot of pressure on the base of the female's tail and possibly crack or damage bone. Now, if that interpretation is correct, that means that Lee Rex is actually a female, and I have to get out of the habit of referring to it in the male pronoun. But the good news is that the name Lee can go either way. So even if it turns out that Lee was a girl, we can still keep calling her Lee Rex. Now, there's one more feature over here that is not evidence of injury to Lee Rex himself or herself, but rather to another dinosaur that Lee might have been feeding on. These are bits and pieces of bone that are all torn apart and jumbled up, and we're not sure exactly what they are. They could be parts of Lee Rex's skeleton, weathered and fragmented, but it could be that these are the results of Lee Rex's last meal, stomach contents, and they were broken up and jumbled like this in the process of being digested.